The cats are running through here. Hey guys, it's Kay and I am back with another long form video, and today I'm doing a Q&A. So I took it to Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, all three of them, and asked you guys to give me a couple of Q&A questions to answer. So that's what I'm doing. Hold on, one of the cats wants in. Here we go. First off, I literally wrote these down in order of when I got them. Sorry, the cats are running through here. I literally wrote these down in order of like when they came through. I took to, again, 3 different social media platforms, plus gave you guys the option of doing an anonymous question. And so I wrote them all down and now I'm gonna answer them. So the first question that I saw come through, guys. So the first question I saw come through was, do you watch Sam and Colby? And the answer is no. I know who Sam and Colby are. I have seen like a video or two, but I don't frequently watch them. Second question. I don't know if you already said this or not, but when and how, what? Sorry. I can't see with these contacts. What are you doing, bud? I don't know if you said this already or not, but how did you and your partner meet? And give me details. So, Ten and I met through TikTok. Basically, they found my out of cosplay account and thought I was cute. And so they started following me, and then they followed me on the cosplay account, and we became mutuals, and we just kind of like, we used to comment on each other's videos from time to time, just kind of for fun. And then Ten slid into my DMs. And it was history from there. Literally like 2 days after Ten slid into my DMs, we were like locked in low-key. I love your videos. They are amazing. When are you going to do your next live stream? Next time I have a live stream, I'm not sure. I kind of live stream whenever I feel like it. In the sense of like, I don't live stream every time I cosplay, because every time I cosplay I'm doing something different, whether it's filming a YouTube video, doing ads specifically for like a character or anything along those lines. I kind of plan my live streams ahead of time, so I don't know. Possibly during Katsucon that weekend I do live stream. So a week or two. Have you watched / played Danganronpa? The answer is no to both. I've never played it and I've never watched it, but I have a lot of mutuals who cosplay from it, so it's always intrigued me a little bit, and I have a friend who cosplays from it as well. So it's kind of like, I would potentially consider getting into it, but I've never engaged in the media before. Judy asks, do you wear wigs? Have you ever worn wigs? Next question, are you planning to get married with your partner? Yes. That's, we both, when we first started talking and stuff like that, one of the things that we always meshed really well on was our like life goals and ways that we view the world and view things. And one of the big things was that we both are date to marry kind of people. So when we date somebody, it's not just to date and that kind of stuff. It's not just to, you know, date for 3 or 4 months and break up. It's to eventually marry that person. So we are both in the same situation of life goes according to plan, and life normally doesn't, but if it does, that one day is the goal for us. When did you start in the cosplay world? I started May 2nd, 2024 is when I posted my first cosplay video and when I did my first cosplay. This was a quote-unquote female cosplay, and I did not like it at all, but I was really wanting to start a cosplay TikTok. I've been inspired by a lot of other TikTokers, and I had always wanted to pursue social media in some way, shape, or form, and I've always loved makeup. And so in my head, this was the perfect way to combine those, and it ended up changing my life and being like one of the best decisions I ever made. Always wanted to cosplay since I was way younger than I am now. Like when I was a little kid, I like wanted to cosplay. I grew up being a competitive figure skater, like always in doing makeup, always doing costumes, and I loved Marvel as a kid. And I always really wanted to cosplay but never did. And so once I got older and had my own money and I was able to, it completely changed the game and I fell in love with it. I had a lot of questions asking me like when I started cosplaying and like my first cosplay. So my first cosplay that I ever felt like I was like cosplaying, my first time cosplaying where I was like, this is a cosplay, I feel like I'm cosplaying and I feel like I'm finally like doing the thing, was Chuya. So I always labeled Chuya as my first cosplay because it was the first cosplay that I ever bought a wig for, first cosplay I actually bought a cosplay for, first cosplay I actually put effort and time into the makeup. The cosplays I had done before that were, I think I did Fem L, which I think I literally just put on a white t-shirt and did audios. I think after that I did Chuya, so I think it was like Fem, Elle, and Chuya were my first two, and I definitely always kind of pride myself in saying that Chuya was my first cosplay because it was the first time I ever felt like I was cosplaying. Who is your all-time favorite character to cosplay? Nagi. Everything about that cosplay I love, except for the wig. I loved the wig previously. It's like gotten very messed up and kind of weird now, so I need to restyle it, and I bought a new wig for him to completely redo. But Nagi is the character I feel the most comfortable in, the most like me in, and it's a character that I just feel good every time I cosplay him without fail. Like, there have been times where I've cosplayed other characters that I also really like that I haven't liked it. There's never been a time I've cosplayed Nagi and didn't like it. How long have you and Tim been dating? So we started officially dating in July of 2025, but we had been talking for a few months previously to that. So unofficially together for like 10-ish months, I think, and then officially together for 6 months, so almost 7 months. So kind of the timeline for that. What are some of your cos plans I have made for the future? Soon to be cos plans that will happen probably after Katsucon are gonna be Sai Itoshi from Blue Lock. I have his whole cosplay and I have his wig. I just don't have the time to style his cosplay style his wig and stuff because I have so much con crunching going on for Katsu right now. I just don't have time to focus on any of my cos plans. Do you have any pets? And if so, what are the names? We have 3 cats. I live with three cats, and they are a handful, but we love them very much. We have Excalibur, Oogie, and Mellow. Mellow is the newest member. He is currently dangling off a cat tree at the moment as we speak. And then other than those 3 cats, back at my parents' house where they live, I have a dog named Bella, who I absolutely love and adore. She recently just had surgery on her eye. She had to get her eye removed due to an infection she had. So yeah, those are the pets I have. Are you and Tin a couple? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, we're dating. We've been dating for a while now. Of your cosplays, which one has been your favorite? Definitely Nagi. He and Ivan are tied first for me for cosplays that I like the most and feel the best in. It's ironic because they're always the top 2 that you guys give me. Anytime I talk about like which character you think is me, which is your favorite cosplay, mine, Nagi and Ivan are always like head for head going at each other. So have you ever watched One Piece? And if so, would you ever cosplay a character from it? I have not seen One Piece and I don't plan to see One Piece. Nothing wrong with the show. It's just too long for my liking, and it doesn't like necessarily fit the vibe of shows that I necessarily like and watch. Sakoku or Fiolai? Considering I have a Sakoku tattoo, I'm gonna go with Sakoku, but I do love Fiolai dearly. Strawberry or chocolate ice cream? Chocolate all the way. I love chocolate. My tummy hurts and I'm tired and I don't feel good. I'm leaving off on this question and coming back to it a different day when I am in a different cosplay. See you later. Hello everybody, it is a new day and I'm finishing the Q&A. Basically, when I was cosplaying Ivan, I got really tired like midway through doing the Q&A, so I decided not to finish it, but I'm here now as Dingy. Where'd my Pochita go? I don't know where it went, but I'm here as Dingy to finish the Q&A up for us. Next question. How long have you been cosplaying and how do you have so much guts to do it? I'm afraid to upload my cosplays to TikTok. So I've been cosplaying for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years now. I started cosplaying in May of 2024 and I started cosplaying on TikTok. My first cosplay I ever did, I posted here on TikTok, or not here on TikTok, but I posted on TikTok. And I kind of have a saying of like, to be cringe is to be free. The cosplay community just is naturally very cringy. So it's like, don't be scared. People in the cosplay community are genuinely very welcoming. It's the people outside of the cosplay community that aren't. But you yourself, you can control the comment section. If there's a comment that you deem inappropriate, you can delete it. You have control over what is on your page, what you post, and what gets commented. You can just know that it's going to happen, but that should not deter you because the cosplay community in general is oftentimes super welcoming. I felt very welcome my full time here being a cosplayer. So one of the cats is using a scratch poach right now. Really, right now, Uggs? One of the cats went to sit on my lap. Sorry, I can't see. Okay, Oogie. Question is, when did you start cosplaying and how long did it take before you started posting on social media? Love your content, BTW. Thank you so much. I love that people love my content. And for me, I started cosplaying May 2024, and I started posting on social media right away. But I've always had the dream growing up as wanting to be an influencer or content creator. I've been posting on YouTube since I was 11, under different names, under different accounts, doing different things. I never found a niche that I enjoyed until I found cosplaying, but I have not been scared or camera shy or scared of the internet or scared of posting my entire life. So I have a little bit of a heads up in that, but just know that like the internet is not as scary as it seems. And while yes, haters are gonna exist, there are more people who are going to enjoy the content you make than hate it. So what is your favorite drawing you have done so far? I think the favorite drawing that I've done so far, I've been on an art journey recently. I began kind of sitting down and deciding that I wanted to enjoy art, and I've always enjoyed art just in general. There's a reason I own so many prints, is because I just think art is beautiful, and I love, hey, stop that. And I love museums, and I love all that kind of stuff. So I've always found, you broke Till. Guys, the cats broke Till. I'm gonna have to hot glue his ear back on. They broke him. That's so upsetting. The whole thing for me is that like, I recently started the drawing process. I grew up being an athlete my whole life and not really having the time to dabble in arts, but now that I'm an adult and I work a job and I live on my own, well, not my own, live with him, but still, I still live not with my parents. I kind of have the free reign to do whatever I want now, and so I decided to pick up art as a hobby. And I think out of all of the drawings I have done, one of my more recent ones, I recently did one that was all botchada. I will insert it. It's not very good. Please know I've been doing art for like 2 months now. I've not been an artist. I don't claim to be an artist. I don't think I'm very good at art, but I do enjoy it and I do it in my spare time at work. But I think my favorite one I've done so far is my botchada drawing. What is the most difficult cosplay to put together every time you wear it? Hands down, 100% Navia. There's a reason I don't wear her very often, even though she's still one of my all-time favorite cosplays I've done. It's because her wig is super heavy and unstyled. Stop. Her wig is super heavy and unstyled, and she is just a heavy cosplay. She has a lot of pieces to her, a lot of metal pieces to her that I can't just like leave on. I have to take off and put back on every time I cosplay her. She takes me about 2 hours to get into. Favorite con memory? Definitely one of my favorite con memories was when I met Dingy's voice actor. He was genuinely one of the nicest people I've ever met, especially like voice actor wise. I've met tons of voice actors. I had a really great time meeting Dazai's voice actor, great time meeting Octagawa's voice actor, but I will say Ryan was definitely a different experience, because we had gotten there, we were the first people he saw that day, and we got to talk about the manga. We got to kind of nerd out with him for like 10 minutes, which was super cool. I've never gotten to have that experience with a voice actor before, and we got really cool pictures with him after, and I got a really awesome signed print that hey, Mellow. And I got a really awesome signed print that he did like doodles on and stuff, so I really, really cherish that con memory. Other than that, probably just being at con with my friends, and there was a con that I went to last year called Anime Crossroads. The reason why that's one of my favorite con memories is because that is where I got to actually become friends and meet all of my current friends. So even though that con was kind of buns, I still have great fond memories of that, because I got to meet so many new people, and some of those people I call my best friend my best friends now to this day. So that con always holds a very cherished memory for me. What cosplays are you most proud of from all the cosplays you've ever done? Honestly, one of the cosplays I'm most proud of, because of the wig, is Jane Doe. I didn't get very much traction on any of my social media, which is understandable. Not a lot of people enjoy my female cosplays, which is fine. I do cosplay males more often. It helps that I'm a guy, but whatever. And I would say Jane Doe is definitely one I'm most proud of, just because of the wig. I spent a lot of time, and that was the first time I styled a wig, and I was like, yeah, I did that. And that cosplay wise that I'm super proud of, I don't really have I have makeup that I'm proud of, or like wigs that I'm proud of, but I don't necessarily have cosplays I'm proud of, because I don't make my own cosplays. Most that I do, like, that's not directly buying off like another site, is thrifting. Most of my Chuyo cosplay is thrifted, my Rompos cosplay is thrifted, most of my Dazai's cosplay is thrifted. Any cosplay that I'm wearing like black pants and like a white button up, that's always thrifted, because I thrift my white button up and I thrift my black slacks. So anything that I thrift or anything like that, I always take a lot of pride in, because that's a sustainable way to cosplay, and I always encourage people people to thrift. So I like being able to be like, I encourage people to do the thing that I do. Other than that, I don't have a lot of cosplays that I'm like, oh, I'm super, super proud of this one for this, that, and that, because I did really like work really hard and I made this. But in general, it's mostly just wigs that I get really proud of. I'm really proud of the Silver Wolf wig I just made my partner. Going to Katsucon here soon. I don't know if this video will be out before Katsucon. It might be, but if it's not, we're going to Katsucon, or we've been to Katsucon, or we're going to Katsucon, and they're doing Silver Wolf, and I made my first helmet wig for them. And I'm very proud of how it turned out, because I was low-key tweaking the entire time I made it, because I thought it was going to be horrible, and it ended up being really good. So I'm very proud of that wig as well. What is your favorite BSD cosplay? My favorite BSD cosplay of mine is Chuya. When I wear Chuya, I just feel really good in him, and I'm very proud of how far that cosplay has come. He was my very first cosplay, and if you compare how he looked when I first cosplayed him to how he looked the last time I cosplayed him, big difference. Mellow, what are you doing, bud? Cats are going crazy. But there's a huge difference in how much that cosplay itself has developed, and I'm incredibly proud of how far that cosplay has come. How did you get into cosplaying? I've always wanted to cosplay. I grew up being a massive Marvel fan, and like I wanted to do Spider-Man, I wanted to do Black Widow, I wanted to do Captain America, but I never got the opportunity. I was busy going to soccer camps and training for sports to the point that I never really got to express myself artistically growing up. The most I ever really did was if there was a day or a winter break, I would do some makeup. I grew up as a figure skater, so I knew how to do makeup, and so I always had a good makeup collection on me growing up. So if I had a day where I was home alone and there was no one like at home and it was a snow day, I do have vivid memories of me in like high school and middle school just whipping out the makeup palettes and like doing a cool makeup look. Artistically, that's the most I'd ever gotten to do, even though my entire life I've wanted to cosplay. I finally got to a point where when I got injured and I no longer could do track and field and I was no longer running or jumping or doing anything, I had to give up a part of my life, and I became very bored and very depressed, and so I decided it was a really great time to pick up something new in my life, and that is when cosplaying became. So cosplay was something I always wanted to do. I never had the ability to do it. I got super into the has-been fandom, and so I had cosplayers all over my For You page all the time. I literally said fuck it and I did it. I got Chuya and I cosplayed. So what is your favorite anime? My favorite anime, I'm not saying this is the best anime because it's not. I have my beef with Bungo, but my personal favorite anime is Bungo Stray Dogs. It holds an incredibly special place in my heart. There will never be another anime that holds the kind of sentimental value to me that Bungo does, because Bungo was truly the first anime that I ever watched. It genuinely changed my life in so many ways. Also the first cosplay I did, so that also, I used to be huge in the Bungo fandom. I still am, I just don't cosplay from Bungo very much anymore. I low-key think I burnt myself out of it cosplaying Bungo so often back when I did. But besides that, Bungo will always and forever be my favorite anime. The best anime, like stylistically, art-wise, I will always say is Demon Slayer. I think Demon Slayer is such a beautiful anime. Story-wise, I would say Mob Psycho or Chainsaw Man are the best written in story animes that I have seen / read. May I marry you? Unless this was my partner who sent this in, no. It's on my mutuals. I'm like, guys, you can flirt with me in my comments mutuals. You can flirt with my partner in the comments mutuals. Just don't take it too far, if that makes sense. Are you a boy or a girl? My pronouns are in all of my bios. Go check them out. How do you like cosplaying different cosplays? I like being able to change in different characters that I enjoy. Most cosplays that I do are characters that I either think are written super well and I find super interesting, or characters that I see myself a lot in. That is why I have priority characters when I get into a new fandom, but I really enjoy just kind of becoming other people for a time. Who do you think deserves to win Alien Stage except Luca? This is a fantastic question. I really thought of it, and who I think deserves to win Alien Stage except for Luca is Till, who I think would have won Alien Stage if it weren't for everybody deciding to sacrifice themselves for one another. It would have been Ivan. I do think if we had gotten to a round where it was Ivan v Luca, Ivan would have taken the cake. Ivan was the favorite going into this round of Alien Stage. Ivan was just like, his voice was superb. People loved him. The only reason he even lost to Till was because he sacrificed himself. He had the highest scoring singing, like without having to change any like lyrics, didn't do anything special, just went and sang against his competition, had the highest score. Like, he was the best all around, so I genuinely think that if he hadn't sacrificed himself and it was him versus Luca, he would have won. Favorite food? My favorite food right now are mini waffle Eggos. I get really weird and have hyper fixation foods, and right now that is Eggo mini waffles. They're so good, and they only sell them at one of the grocery stores near me, and they don't sell them at any of the chain grocery stores anymore, and it makes me so upset. When will you cosplay as Aki Angel again? Here soon. Literally this morning when Tin and I woke up, I told them that I wanted to cosplay Aki Angel again. So it'll definitely be after Katsucon, which is the weekend of Valentine's Day weekend is Katsucon. So it won't be until after then, but sometime either late February or early March, I'm pretty sure we're going to bring Aki and Angel back. What are your best tips on drawing hands? I use my own hands as reference a lot. When I'm like thinking about drawing, I look at my own hands as I draw so I can kind of reference kind of the positioning and everything. So I reference my own hands when I draw hands. Last question I have here is cosplay wig tips. So one thing I've been trying to get a lot better on is recording my process for styling wigs and just recording how I do wigs and how I style wigs just as much as I possibly can, because I know a lot of people ask me for wig tips, especially now that I have perceived that I've gotten better at it. My biggest tip is to crimp your wigs. A crimper off Amazon for like $20, or you can even sometimes find them at the thrift store. Sometimes people thrift them and sell them at the thrift store. My biggest tip is crimping your wigs. It makes styling your wigs a lot easier. It makes them fluffier. It makes them easier to work with. Now you can get away with not crimping your wigs by teasing them, like this wig is teased, but I do plan to go through and brush this wig out and crimp it and completely restyle it eventually. I just haven't had the time or capabilities to do that yet. But it's kind of just like, take your time, watch videos. I'm going to be coming out with a helmet wig video here soon. Watch that video. Watch any of the TikToks I make for wig styling. Watch others. Rednote is how it's also pronounced, has really good wig styling tip videos. So just do your research, watch videos, and practice. Wig styling is very similar to drawing in the fact that you're not going to be good at it the very first time you do it, but as you do it more, you're going to figure out how to do different techniques and what works best for you. The things I use for reference most often are pop funks, pop figures, or any kind of anime figure in general. I find that anime figures have less of an animated look than most actual like pictures of shows, and I usually reference those when I style wigs. So that was all the questions I have. Thank you guys so much for submitting all of the Q&A questions. I'm so excited that I was able to do this. I will probably do another one here in the next like 8 or 9 months or something like that, so that we can kind of keep up to date with one another. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed these like longer format videos. I'm gonna try to post every Saturday if I can. I'm currently very busy though because I have cons coming up. I have I work a full-time job. I do cosplay, and I also am working on another degree, so I'm getting a second degree right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.